Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello, it's Michael Serio from Bonfire here on a bus at a big punk rock summer tour with Jim Lindberg of Pennywise. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful. We're on a bus.
Yeah, it feels like I've always talked to everyone I've talked to who've done Warped Tour has talked about how that's like punk rock summer camp, and you guys have kind of built your own little mini punk rock summer camp here because this show tonight, it's The Offspring, it's Bad Religion, it's you guys, the Vandals are playing right now.
We're on stage as we speak.
Yeah, so is it the same kind of vibe? Is it like a summer camp kind of thing?
You know, it is in the sense that all of these bands started on the Warped Tour and we've all done it multiple times, and we've all known each other for a long time. So it's similar in that way, and we're all traveling together and giving each other a hard time all day and screwing around. But the Warped Tour has about 7,000 more bands exactly than this tour. And
well, isn't this better because you don't have to put up with the kids in the neon T-shirts this time around, right?
Yes, and the screaming. There's not as much screaming.
Right. It's interesting to me what you think as a guy who's been around and done this for a while. What do you think about what is punk rock in 2014? I struggle with that question myself.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, it just started out being about playing music that was really fast and usually fairly obnoxious and aggressive,
right.
And kind of like a sonic middle finger to the establishment and mainstream music. So that's, I think, where it started. And then I think in 2014 it can still be that way. There's still mainstream music is very different from what is considered punk rock still. Miley Cyrus and Arcade Fire, different bands like that. Where do you draw the line of what's alternative, what's pop, and what's punk rock? It's hard to say what is what, but I think you can usually tell a punk rock band by the number of F words in their music. And
that's how it is. Is that the barometer?
Yeah, we have a lot in ours, so we're super punk.
There is a new Pennywise album this year, actually this month, like 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah, Yesterday's came out three weeks ago, but it's a new album, but it's not completely new.
Yeah, it's mostly old songs, songs that we wrote before we ever signed a record deal or ever had made a record. They were all just songs written in the garage and very innocent, youthful songs, and had always wanted to dust them off and try them out, so we had to go through all the cassette tapes and find the versions of them, and so that's really cool. The rest are a couple outtakes from early albums as well, so it's kind of going back to our roots.
Now, would you say, because you left for a little bit and came back, did that inform that decision? Was that part of the reason for doing that?
Well, I think once we made the choice to get the core unit back together, instead of saying, okay, well, let's write a new album right now, it just seemed to make more sense to kind of make those reconnections and to remember who we were when we started. This seemed like the perfect way to do that, and I think it was therapeutic in that way to go in the studio and remember these songs that we loved so much that represented the band before it became a career, when it was just playing backyard parties and having fun. So I think that's important. What
was the reason? Why did you step away for a little bit?
We don't have enough time on your camera here to talk about all that.
Let's try to do a short version.
The short version was I needed a break. We'd been touring and putting out records and touring pretty much nonstop for 20 years. A lot of bands like our partners like Bad Religion and Rancid, they took like a couple years off when they had kids and things like that. And for me, we just never did that, and I needed to take a break. The other guys didn't want to. So, and we're not like a lot of other bands where it's like a business deal. It's kind of like, we've known each other since we were young, and it's like when there's that kind of a disagreement and it becomes like, well, F you, I never want to talk to you again then. So we had that for about 2 or 3 years, and but then it just took me coming back was as simple as saying like, all right, well, let's make up again, okay? It was literally that stupid and easy, saying like, all right, well, I took a break, let's go out and play some shows and quit being a kook.
Well, I'm glad everyone's friends again.
Yeah,
I'm glad there's Pennywise again. That's cool.
It's fun, you know. We definitely love playing our music. We love, you know, getting out there and doing this, and you know, we try not to take ourselves too seriously, but at the same time, we all care about the music and our fans, and you know, having a good time. And it's easier now. My wife and kids are coming out and visiting on the tour and stuff like that, so it's not like before when, you know, I got 3 kids and going to Czechoslovakia for months on end isn't that great of a way to be a good dad. So
you talked about taking some time and spending it with kids. You literally wrote the book on it, on, you know, being a punk rock guy and transitioning into having a family, and that's cool that they get to come and spend time with you now. One of those things that you talked about in the book is, you know, introducing, you know, driving around in the minivan or whatever it is and playing the Ramones and playing the Clash. What's the first band that kids will gravitate to from the punk rock set? What's the first one where you start to see them kind of nod the head and dig it?
It was the Clash, London Calling, because it's one of my favorite records, and it's such a, you know, it's very different from GBH. You know, it's not super hardcore. There's songs like Lost in the Supermarket and Spanish Bombs and stuff like that.
Yeah, Rudy Can't Fail is kind of like a lullaby.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when my daughter was singing the words of Spanish Bombs in the back seat, I was just like so stoked. I was like, yes.
You go, mission accomplished.
Yes. You know, without really ramming it down our throat, I would just like put it on and, you know, what do you think of this? And like, they liked it. So it wasn't like I was like, no One Direction in the house, you know. But I know more One Direction songs than any guy my age should know.
Right.
I'll put it that way.
That's probably true. Yeah, well, one would be too many.
Yeah.
Too many. Jim, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it. Best of luck.
All right.
Jim from Pennywise. Iconic. Awesome. Thanks, man.